Good day, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another CGC live unboxing on this Saturday, March the 26th, Saturday evening. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And it was my intention to do a live unboxing a couple of days ago. Time is my worst enemy, my friends. I have another box I have to do a unboxing for, and I have another one on the way. It was supposed to arrive today. It did not arrive today, so it'll probably be here on Monday. But nonetheless, I have a box of goodies here to share with you, so sit tight. Before we get there, though, if you're new here, hey, how you doing? I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser located up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. I'm also a CGC authorized dealer. And yeah, this is a live CGC unboxing. What is that? Well, I send books down to Sarasota to be graded, comic books that is. And once they're done, they ship them back. And then as I receive them, I unbox them. And these belong to my customers, to my fantastic customers who've been waiting so patiently for their books over the last several weeks and months. If you are new here or new to the hobby, you know, or maybe you don't know, I can tell you right now that, yeah, the hobby is still pretty hot, and grading comic books has become a very long, arduous process. And I'm trying to hopefully alleviate that by doing these shows and keeping everyone active and knowing that their books are out there and the books are getting worked on. It just takes a lot of time. Also, before I get started, I want to talk a little bit about, again, the magazine policy. Customers oftentimes give me magazines to submit to CGC, and that's fine. Moving forward, however, I'm exclusively only going to use the standard magazine tier. It's a little more money, but the books come back within 2 or 3 months, not over a year. I don't want to be having books at CGC for a year or plus. So I think a great way to alleviate that is if you have a magazine that you want to have graded, it will go under the standard or higher tier, okay? Also, in regards to my high value policy, I talked a little bit about how as the big books come in, I work on them first. I'm going to keep doing that. However, if you have, say, a 25 book submission and you have one really high-end book and the rest are, you know, the average book, I would ask you to create 2 invoices, and I will do the high-end books first and the others will go into my regular queue. I'm finding that by doing large orders of books that are coming in kind of last minute with a couple of high-end books is throwing me off, and I can't do that anymore. So while I'll still give priority to big high-end books, they have to be sent in on their own invoice, and then the other books will be put into my regular queue, okay? Anyways, enough of that. Holy cow, 21 people here. If you're just getting here now, guys, hit that like button. Only 6 likes right now. It really does help my analytics here on YouTube, so hitting that like button is much appreciated. Also, guys, once I'm done, maybe half of this, I'm going to go to the chat window. I'll look at the chat room, and if you have any questions for me, you can ask me there. If you absolutely have a question that it cannot wait, you can always hit that super chat button and leave a question. I will answer those questions first, and I will make sure that they're answered 100%. Okay, let's get going. Let's see what we got here. I think it's a box of many books. I mean, many different, yeah, like for example, this first book belongs to one person. And oh my Lord, I have a feeling, I'm not sure, but I think I know who this belongs to. And if it does, it's quite funny because anyways, there's a Hulk 142 and a 7.0, a Valkyrie appearance. All right. And yeah, they're starting to slip the invoices inside the bags now. They used to just put them on top of the box, which made these unboxings a lot easier. Now I have to fiddle with the invoice as they come out. All right. We also have a copy of Uncanny X-Men 248 in a 9.6. We then have Darth Vader number 3. I like to see that. 9.8. That's excellent. Moving right along, we have another Darth Maul number 2, and that is also a 9.8. Those 9.8s. There's only 2 things I like better than a 9.8. Can you guess what those are? No, we don't see them enough. Next, we have an X-Men 95 in a 6.0. All right. There we go. Got a Wolverine #1 in a 9.6. And there's the other invoice there. What else do we have? We have a Uncanny X-Men 266, as we saw on our thumbnail, and that's a 9.6, and that's a direct edition. Next we have, is there another one? Yeah, another one. Another 266, and a 9.2 this time. Also a direct edition. I think there's a couple more, at least one or two more of these in here as well, I think, if I recall correctly. Here's a X Factor #6, first appearance of Apocalypse, and that is in a 9.8. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Looks like we got mostly modern books on this box, guys. What do we have here? We also have a Hulk 340 and a 9.4. I'm starting to see this book come in as much as the 361s were coming in. I'm starting to see that a lot. A lot. We have here Uncanny X-Men 244 and a 9.8 white pager. That's excellent. What do we have here? That's an Uncanny X-Men 142 and a 9.2. Again, a white pager. I sure like how the background's all out of focus, so you can't see my mess. It's fantastic. It's kind of a nice little added bonus there. We have an X-Men 109. Nice. Not a bad grade. And a 9.4. First appearance of Weapon Alpha. And again, I don't know whose books these are. We've got Uncanny X-Men 221, first appearance of Mr. Sinister, and that is a 9.4. All right, you know what? I'll stop there. Let's go over to the chat room and see what you guys are talking about. If you're talking about anything in particular, again, if you have any questions, this is the best time to say hello. Let me get the chat window going. There it is. Okay, and let me call up my, oops, that's not it. Where is it? Is it there? Hold on. There it is. Okay, let's see. Again, I'm going to do a universal hello to everybody who's joining us today. Great to see you. Chris B says, hey, Kevin, thanks for your work. Picked up my Vengeance today. Yes, my third one in there. LOL, Murphy's Law, right? Great to see you today. Thanks so much, Chris. Good to see you as well. If you remember Chris, guys, he was the fella who had those two Vengeance books that came in probably about 3 or 4 episodes back. Both came back 9/8, and they were both given to him as a gift by one of his neighbors as they were moving out. So he had some great luck there. And as for your third book, Chris, you're going to have to wait and see, I guess. Davy Clare, those SOBs down at CGC finally got a hold of me last week, then told me they would call me back Monday. That was 8 days ago. Yeah, Davy, it's getting tough. It's getting tough at CGC. I contacted them 2 weeks ago for some accounting issues, and I've heard nothing back. They're overwhelmed, and for me, it's a bit scary because I'm dealing with tons and tons of invoices. So I have a problem. Who am I going to talk to, right? I'm going to have to call and cause a lot of problems if I'm going to get any response from them. John Gorin says, hey, nice meeting you in person today, Kevin. I submitted my badge and got my place in queue. Thank you, John. Yes, it was good meeting you as well. Thanks for coming by. Brother Kev's out of curiosity, what month are you on? I'm on several months. What I'm doing is I'm just picking orders, like smaller orders that have come in from September all the way into November. We're starting to get those done. Bigger orders, I'm working on orders still from September and all the way into November. So I'm kind of doing the entire fall month right now. And there was a month there where I actually slowed down taking submissions. So once November is done, I think I think maybe over December, late November and December, I wasn't taking many books, so it should jump into January rather quickly once I get these. And I've got some big orders here, man. And Wayne, you're guilty of that. It's a big order I've got of yours. So we're hammering out larger orders. I'm hammering out high value books. If you've been following me on Instagram, you'll see some of the high end books I've been getting, the high value books. So I'm getting them in and out as quick as I can. I've got a bunch of old Batman. I got to get those done. They're again high value books, and a big order from the Maritimes came in. All of them. Every single book was a big value book, so I got to get that done and out of here as well. So yeah, it's ongoing. We're going. But like I said, I think I told everybody who comes into the shop or mails stuff in, expect 6 months to 12 months for the entire process. So, but yeah, hope that answers your question, brother Kev. Prince Zodiac, hey Doc, that's what I did on my first submission. The Avengers 8 is a separate invoice with just that book. Wondered if you noticed that. Prince Zodiac, I'm doing a massive unboxing probably tomorrow of my own. I've got tons of boxes, FedEx boxes, like books that were delivered that I haven't even opened yet. And that's going to be part of my day tomorrow. So once I see that, I'll rearrange my invoices and hopefully we'll get those out. Actually, Prince Zodiac, Avengers #1 was yours, was it not? Because guess what? It's on its way back to you as we speak. You should have it on Wednesday, I think. I can check that. Wayne, do you have any recos for people when looking at books as far as what cannot be pressed or cleaned properly, what to stay away from? Or recommendations? Do you have any recommendations for people when looking at books as far as what cannot be pressed or cleaned properly, what to stay away from? Well, you know what? Well, it's a good question. I'd recommend staying away from books that have any staining on them. I mean, aside from doing like chemical baths or some kind of wash, how are you going to get some of those stains out? Superficial dirt will come off your comic book, but if you've got like staining from food or some kind of organic staining, while it can come off, it's not going to come off with a simple dry clean. So why even entertain the notion of dealing with a book like that? If you've got a book with foxing on it or bacterial stains, just stay away from them altogether. In regards to pressing candidates, if the body of the book has dents and finger dents, those are good as long as they don't break color. And along the spine, just try to get as clean as you can along the spine. I looked at several books today from a fella who came in, and you know what? The spine on many of the books were in really rough shape, and because of that, the books would not have gotten higher than a 9, in my opinion. So, just overall good condition for the books. The problems you want pressing to fix are problems on the face of the book, on the body of the book. If you've got severe damage along the spine, a press will make it look better, but a press ain't going to make it magically go away. So avoid that. So avoid stains and avoid really bad looking spines, no matter how bad you want it. And that's the thing, right? We go and look at a book, we want to buy a book and we start looking at it. What can we do with this book? Always err on the side of caution. Don't think, a press will get that out for sure. A press is going to make a book look better no matter what, but can it make it jump really high? Again, if you've got those problems with the book that are inherent to the book, then stay away from those books. Davy Clare, those efforts. Mike from Ottawa. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Hi, Kevin. I have a question about a couple of books that have what I think is called printer's creases on the front and back cover. Is it true that this doesn't count against a book when grading? No, it's not true at all. Are you talking about ink stains? Or are you talking about actual dents, like creases on the book? If you've got a crease going through the book, like which is notorious on books like Ultimate Fallout 4, then you need to fix those before you send them into grading. Now, sometimes you might see a little line go down a book, but it's not necessarily a crease. It's just kind of like a line. And oftentimes that's okay. Again, it depends. If it's a significant crease, then you need to fix that before you send it in. Prince Zodiac says 9.910. Yeah, that's right. I like to see those as well, even if it's not me received. Me too, man. I'm the same as you. I like to see them too, Prince Zodiac. RP, hey Kevin, how did you like the Toronto Comic Con? RP, I liked it. I just, it was more fan expo than it was Comic Con. It was about 20% comics and whatever else. I mean, if you want a true comic book experience and you're in the Toronto area, you want to go and check out the Toronto Comic Book Show, which will be starting up again at the end of June. That's an awesome, awesome packed house comic book show. Wall to wall, ceiling, floor to ceiling comic books. That's the one you want to go to. Jeffrey, Dwayne, look at his website. Okay, I heard they're a common Oshawa in April. You usually go to those? There are no Comic Cons out in Oshawa, RP. No. Chris B, 9/8 are beauties. They sure are. Henry, nice book so far. Darn right. This coming Saturday, I'll be back at the shop again. Yeah. Thanks, NFDFND with 242. It was good to see you as well. IG12, Central Comics. How you doing? Been having a rough week, Comic Doctor. Thanks for the video. Oh, IG, sit back, relax, take it easy, and enjoy some beautiful comic books to get your mind off a hectic week. I know it was a pretty busy week for me as well, so I'm glad to be here with you now, shooting the breeze. Hey, Big D. Wayne, Kev, your camera is amazing. You look like you're right here on my 4K. Hey, man, I'm happy. Again, I want to thank John Campia for that. It's exactly what he uses on his channel. Although he's got better lighting and his picture quality is pristine. But for a bum like me who doesn't know much what he's doing, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I agree. Dave Tanner, I sent you a recent Avengers 1. Looking forward to seeing it. Dave Tanner, was that your Avengers #1? I just sent an Avengers 1 is on its way back right now. So I thought it was Neil's, but maybe it's Dave's. I'm not sure. Actually, I can check right now. Let's see. These are all my invoices that I have not done for the last month and a half. So that's going to be done tomorrow too. Lots to do this week. Let me see if I can find, if it's Dave. I think maybe it's Dave Tanner's book. Who is it? Whose is it? Craig, Dustin, Ryan. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't find it. But I can tell you right now, there's an Avengers #1 heading back to someone in the United States' house right now. So I know, Neil, you're in the U.S. Dave, are you in the U.S.? Because that'll be a determining factor. I can find out later. Rob Prime, great to see another video. I always look forward to them and keep looking for my books. Yeah, I know. Again, guys, sorry. There's only so much time in the day. I'm just having a hard time doing these videos. I'm only doing 2 or 3 a week tops right now. Wayne says Moderns 9 or higher. No problem. No point. I kind of agree with you. I had Avengers 8 first Kang. Looking for an Avengers 1 though. Hint, hint. Okay, so it's not yours. That had to be Dave Tanner's book. So Dave, I assume you were in the States, right? I believe. I could even tell you what your grade is if you want to stick around for a while later. Chris B, thanks. Dustin, I submitted some books in July. Any idea when they're arriving? Paid the invoice in January after it said they were at CGC. Well, Dustin, they are there. They're at CGC right now. So if you're billed in January, depending on the tier of the books, if they were express or if they were walkthrough, you should get them back pretty quick. If they're economy books, and you look at your invoice, it'll tell you economy or modern. If it's modern, you're looking around 4 months. If it's economy, it could be 6. So it's just a waiting game, but they're there and they're in queue. I remember, guys, I only bill you once the books have left Oshawa and on their way to CGC. Once they're on their way to CGC, I bill you because as soon as they unpack them, they bill me. So that's that. Prince Zodiac, beware of subscription increases, that's for sure. Dustin, I also love the show. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate it, man. Robin, have you noticed that CGC's billing way before actual grading now? They've always billed me way before actual grading. I've always been billed as soon as the books arrive, they bill me. The only time they don't is if I have pre-screened books. And I also heard from another client that they billed him immediately the other day, and he was quite angry because it was quite a large order, and they were all economy books. They charged him like $3,000 or $4,000, and he's not going to see his books for probably almost 8 months. So he wasn't too happy. Chris, where am I here? Oh yeah, Chris B. Shop looked really good today. Lots of great stuff in there. I was tempted. Chris B, come on back. Yeah, I'm going to try to, again, as time permits, I'm going to really stock that place up. I want to have a lot of good deals in the bargain bins there for you. But again, as the weeks go on, I will certainly do that for you. Henry says they're taking lessons from the banks. First, fast to debt, slow to credit. Yeah, good point. Dave Tanner, I am. Thanks. Can't wait to see it. Excellent. Now, Dave, was that a crack and redo, or was it a raw book? I don't remember. John Dumer, how you doing, John? Great show. Hey, just wonder if you got around to adding these 2 extra submissions to the original Star Wars order. John, your Star Wars books, the first order is done. It's done. The other couple of books I haven't done yet. The more recent ones you dropped off a couple of weeks ago, I don't believe they're done yet, but your other order is finished. So I got to call you and discuss next steps. All right. So expect a call from me in the next few days. Good seeing you, John, by the way. Dustin, cool, bro. Okay. Dave Tanner, love to know. Love, you know. Okay. Mike Hammond, The Waiting Game. I always love that game. Okay, Dave, I will check. Wayne, you ever consider limiting submissions to like 5 to 10 books? Sorry about my big order. Never again. Too much money, too. I don't know. No, I guess I haven't done that. Well, one guy's doing what Hero Restoration's doing in the States. I checked out his website. He's done this whole thing with tiers now for pressing. So he'll have like 7 different tiers of pressing. The slowest tier is like 8 months or 7 months, and it's 25, Canadian, around $25 a book. And then what he's doing is the rest of it is like, if you want your books in a month and a half, it's like $75 a book. And so what it's doing is kind of, if you want your books quick, you got to pay a higher tier. And so it's kind of forcing people to be a little more particular about what books you're submitting. And it's kind of a neat way of doing things. The only problem is I have so many books in here right now, I wouldn't know how to start doing that. I need to get on control of what I have before I think I can do something like that. But yeah, Wayne, I hate turning business away. I hate turning people away. And the only reason I put a freeze on right now is because I don't have enough room. That's basically it. I don't have if I could show you over there, I have all the books kind of organized by name. They're all divided by they're all labeled and what have you. And then I have boxes. CGC boxes filled with other books. I don't like that. I like to have all my books right there. So, I'm going to, we'll catch up at some point. And I just thank you for being very patient. And you all know it's the way it is. I talked to other pressers too. I know a lot of pressers in the U.S. who are very busy, and they're at 5-6 month turnaround as well. So I don't think I'm unique. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, I just appreciate you all being very patient with me. Yeah, brother Kev, they do qualify for, and I just came upon them the other day. Actually, yours, brother Kev, will be getting done pretty soon. I've come across them a couple of times already and kind of shuffled them around. They're on my radar. It's going to get done, and once they go, they'll come back very quickly. Just so you know. Michael Emmons says, Kevin, what is your favorite local comic shop to shop at? I don't buy a lot of comics anymore. I don't buy new comics, and I don't and a lot of the comic stores around here don't have a lot of vintage books. So to be honest, like I just picked up, if you noticed on my Instagram, I picked up Tales to Astonish 44 First Wasp. I finally got a copy, 4.5. I picked it off somebody I know in the city who deals with a lot of vintage books. But if I have to go to a comic store in Oshawa, yeah, I go to Worlds Collide. Going to Worlds Collide's like going back in time for me, because the same store owner is there that was there when I was 14 years old, and he still runs the place. His name's Tim, and so when I do go to a comic store, that's where I usually go. So Worlds Collide, if you're ever in Oshawa, go check it out. And Tim does not believe in this. He does not believe in CGC. He hates CGC. You will not find a graded book in his store. So, anyhow, IG12 says, can you pre-screen for only blue labels? Do you mean... I'm assuming that all the books that come in are blue label. I pre-screen, I don't really do a pre-screen. I look the book over as I'm working on it. If something kind of odd presents itself, I let you know. If you are suspicious of a book, then you make a note and I'll take a closer look, and there'll be no charge for that. If it's one book here and one book there, right? I'm not gonna charge for that. A raw book. Okay, Dave. And Dave, what state are you in? And that'll tell me for sure. I'll look it up in a minute. Okay. Crispy, oh, I'll be back. I got a bit of free. My wife is working on a coworker, says she has some comics about 30 years old. I'm like, get those, oh baby. Chris, you know what's happened to you, my friend? You've caught it. You've caught the comic book bug. So be very careful, because now you're going to be looking for comic book collections and running around. Speaking of which, this guy who has absolutely no right to be buying any more comics, this is where I'm going tomorrow. I'm going an hour east. I'm going to wake up early in the morning, and there's a small collection I'm going to go look at about an hour from here. And yeah, so I'll let you all, I'll show you what I come, if I end up buying it, I'll show you what I got. It's mostly modern books though. But there's a New Mutants 98 I have my eyes on. That's what I'm looking to get. I'm trying to get as many New Mutants 98s as I can, because that book's going to pop. I'm telling you, it's going to pop. I could be wrong, but Crispy, I don't believe it yet. Let's see, but I will be back. Okay, good. 12 cent. At 12 cent, yeah, only blue label pre-screen. Okay, NFD says at 12 cent, yeah, only blue label pre-screening. I think you're what you're trying to say is, will I make sure a book won't come back purple label? Is that what you're saying? NDFND? Wayne, you should 100% do that. 25 is too low and increase duration. Yeah, I know. I would do that, but what's the point? What's the point of doing that? I can't change things. Can I? Can I change things halfway through? I don't think I can, right? I mean, I got too many books here already coming in this way. So it is what it is, right? Let me see here. But it's something to think about, Wayne, you know, as it moves forward. And especially if things continue the way they are. There's been no slowdown. Well, every weekend I go to the shop. Today I was at the shop again. I had about another 10 guys show up today, mostly to pick up books, but guys dropping stuff off who had invoices from before. It never ends. It's not stopping. It's not slowing down. Prince Zodiac, that wait sucks, but personally, I don't mind. I appreciate your care of the books and the love, the hobby, and you to apologize for being in high demand. Godspeed. No, you're not alone, Prince, and I get it. And you know what? I don't like the wait either. I remember when I sent my first 3 books to CGC, I was crapping my pants while they were there. It was a 2-3 month wait. It was an Avengers #1. It was a ASM 129 and an ASM 1. They were all my old books when I was a kid, and I sent them off, and I was terrified the whole time they were there. I just want you guys to know that your books are safe. You know what I mean? The books are safe. I mean, that's the one thing I think everybody, I know you want your books back quickly, especially people who want to sell their books. I get it. But for those of you that are collectors like me, as long as I know my books are there and they're safe and they're okay, then that kind of keeps me at ease. You know what I mean? And I want you all to know that your books are safe. And I've always said this, if the wait is too long, if I've had books too long and you want your books back, give me a call. I'll send the books back to you. Heck, I'll pay to send the books back to you. I don't mind. I'll send the books back. They're not hostage. Your books are never hostage. Once they get to CGC, they're hostage. But when they're with me, they're not. I'm more than happy to give books back if you want them back. If you don't want to wait, trust me. You're not breaking my heart, and no harm, no foul. Wayne says, how much do cutouts affect grade? I have a book with 3 cutouts, but it's a good one. Well, cutouts are going to be, you're going to get a green label. You're going to get a qualified label because it's going to be incomplete. And I'm not sure what they'd knock off. I know that if you have an unverified signed book, say you had, John Byrne sign a book and you send it in to get it graded at CGC. And what they're going to do, they're going to give you, a green qualified label, but they're going to grade the book accordingly. Like, is it a 9.8? It could be a 9.8, but it's qualified because of an unverified signature. Now, that's a signature is one thing, but now you're talking about a book's missing, parts of the book. So I got a feeling they're going to take marks off. So if you had a 9.8, for example, and you're missing 3 coupons inside the book, yeah, that's going to bring the book down. Jeez, I don't even know what to tell you. If it was a high grade book missing 3, coupons from a 9.8, it'd probably go down to like a 7, right? 7.5, I think. But it would still be. But the whole point about qualified is they're supposed to still give it a grade as though there was nothing wrong with the book, because the green label in itself is the demerit point, right? Because no one wants a green label either. They want the blue label. So, but Wayne, the best thing to do is to contact CGC and ask them. In Connecticut, yeah, I'm sure it's yours then, Dave. I think that Avengers #1 is going to be back to you. Monday or Wednesday. I'll check before you go. I'll check, Henry. And you're high in demand because of the quality of your work. Yes, thank you. I hope so. I think that's the case, and also I believe it's. I pride myself on being available and talking to you guys, and that's why I do these videos. Right? That's really the main reason I do these videos is just so you guys can see the stuff's coming in. I just don't disappear with your stuff. We're working on it. It's getting done. And that's why I do these video. Again, this is a part of the customer experience with the Comic Doctor, I guess. And that's what I want to, that's why I'm doing this. I would love to have an app created where you could follow along there, and it's kind of like what CGC does as well. But that, again, I have no idea where to even start doing something like that. That might be a little more than I bargained for right now, but thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate that. Kevin, Wayne warned me a year ago to be careful about buying comics. $10,000 plus later, I should have listened to him. I tell everybody that. The Sherwood brothers who've been coming into the shop lately, again, guys, I'm like, it's an addictive thing, especially if you have good luck with a book and you get a nice high grade on something and you make some money, you want to get back into it again. A fella came to the shop today, actually. He called me about 3 or 4 years ago. He'd bought a collection. He'd been out of comics since he was a kid. He bought a collection, and there was a lot of nice books in there. I pressed a bunch of books for him, and he told me at that time it was going to be a one-off deal. He was going to sell them, make some money, and move on. You think that happened? No. He's now setting up at shows, and he's like a dealer now. He's become a dealer. And it was like 3 years ago where he just found a collection. And to be honest, it kind of happened to me too that way. That's I never told this story. I don't think that maybe I did tell this story, but the same thing kind of happened to me. I was out of comics completely. I was out of comics when I was in university. Every year I go to Tim's, or I go to someone's. I go online. I buy 1 or 2 big comic books a year. And when I say big, I mean $200-$300 comic book. And I wasn't buying new books, but it wasn't until about 12 years ago. I was on Kijiji one day. My wife was in the city with her friends, and she spent the night in it with her friends. They were having a party or whatever. And I woke up the next morning and I saw this guy had bins of comics for sale, and he wanted, I think, $800. And I called him up and I said, listen, I'm not going to look at your collection. I'm just going to buy them from you sight unseen if you take $400. He said, come and get them. So I called my wife, said, on your way home, stop off at this guy's place, give him $400 and let him load up the truck with the comics. And so she comes home, guys, and I have it was a Dodge Caravan. There was about 7 or 8 big blue Tupperware filled with comics, and they were all pristine, bagged, double boarded, in good shape. I paid $400, and I got 2 copies of New Mutants 98, New Mutants 87, a whole bunch of New Mutants. I had all the Wolverine number 1, 2, 3, 4, all the John Byrne X-Men run, 2 copies of the first Gambit. Guys, it was a smorgasbord of modern goodness, and I paid $400 for it. And yeah, I got hooked. That got me right back into it again. It got me right back into it again. And here I am now. Years later. And again, the whole pressing thing, this is all Roy's fault, because me and Roy were doing the Toronto Comic Book Show, but I was selling toys at the show. I wasn't even selling comic books. And Roy's like, you should offer your pressing service here. So I put a little ad up, and Peter out of Ajax gave me a few books. He was my first customer, and he came back the following time. And then the next time another guy came, and then within 3 months I had lineups at the Toronto Comic Book Show. And I kind of got into the good time. I was one of the first guys in the GTA doing this. I think I must have been, because I've got clients with me now that started with me way back when, which is cool. But yeah, it's an addictive hobby, guys. I'll be right there. Then put a hold, catch up, then tier pricing. Wayne, that's kind of what I'm doing, my friend. Sorry, I skipped over Prince Zodiac. A little off topic and maybe an idea for a separate video, but how do you find these collections? I can't getting leads. Maybe people only want to sell to bigger collectors. No, it's hard, Prince Zodiac. Everybody's collections are worth millions of dollars now. That's the problem. Everybody's got Google, and everybody thinks that their collection is worth millions when it's worth not even close to that. But everybody's scared to sell. People are scared to sell their collections because they don't know what they have, and so a lot of people hold on to them, and it's not easy to find collections anymore. You have to really dig. And sometimes they come into the shop for me. This book, the New Mutants 98 I'm talking to you about right now, I was talking to this guy a couple of times. I was looking only at the one book, and then I said, you always got to ask the question, do you have anything else for sale? And then that usually leads to, yeah, I happen to have another 100 books. And then, that's the way it goes. But yeah, it's not easy, Neil. It's not easy at all. And like I said, everybody thinks their books are worth millions when they're really not. And they all want graded prices when they shouldn't be getting graded prices. So you got to be really careful. And getting a good deal is hard to do. Chris B, do you do baseball cards? I can send baseball cards into CGC for grading, and I can clean and press them. But I don't know how. Some cards it helps. Other cards I don't think it does anything to them, to be honest with you. Sorry. Chris B says 100% the books are safe. I picked up a few K today. Yeah. They're yours, man. They're not mine. Although I wish some of those books were mine, they're not mine. And you're not going to find me swapping books out, guys. I'll tell you that right now. That's not my style. And I know it's out there. And I hear the horror stories of books being swapped. And again, I'd say the best way to alleviate that is before you send your books to me or anybody, just to be on the safe side, take pictures. Take pictures of your books and take close-ups, especially if your books have certain a little mark on it, or maybe a little tear or a little dimple. Take shots of those too, so you know that when you get your book back, you can look for that. And hopefully a press will get rid of some of that stuff. But sometimes books inherently they're different, right? Not every single comic book is exactly the same. So anyways, when is the Moon Knight contest? The Moon Knight contest will be coming up. Moon Knight starts this week on the 30th. So probably the next couple of weeks we'll do a Moon Knight contest. I'll give out some of those Moon Knight books. And by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. By doing so, when I have that Moon Knight giveaway, I'm going to be giving out 4 Bill Sienkiewicz Moon Knight raw books when the show airs. So be sure to leave comments and be here when I give out those books. Also, when I hit 1,500 subscribers, and I'm pretty damn close now, when I hit 1,500 subscribers, I will be giving out a $250 gift card to the Comic Doctor service. So that is a nice little bonus for some lucky comic book collector, especially if you haven't ever done this before. It's a great way to try it out, right? Okay, let's keep going here. We'll get back to these books. Prince Zodiac says, I've been collecting since the 80s, 90s. The books I'm sending to you are the first books I've ever got graded. Are you telling me my addiction is about to get worse? Pray for Prince Zodiac. Yes. Yeah. Again, today, Chris, the guy who had the Robert Downey Jr. signed Iron Man #1, came to pick it up today. And we were talking, a lot of these are books he's had since he was a kid. And these are his collection. He's now grading, right? And, Prince Zodiac is a slippery slope, man. And Chris, and you say I'm the luckiest man. LOL. Well, it's not bad. RP, hey Kevin, do you know if they'll be starting the Toronto Comic Show again? I haven't heard anything online. Yes, it is starting on the last weekend of June, and I think I might go and I'll take books at that show. I'm not going to deliver books, but it'll be a show. You can drop off books to me at that show. I'll probably do a little pickup at that show. I'm thinking about it. I'm not 100%, like 50-50 right now. Wayne, that's what happened to me. I bought one book for my brother as a birthday gift. Next thing I got about 4 good collections for dirt cheap with some great mid-value books. Listen, guys, I tell you, I've had some great finds. I remember one time I was working out in the garden all day. I'm out of shape. I'm always out of shape. So it was a Sunday. It was spring, I remember. And I was in bed. I was like lying. We were watching, Dexter. So that's how long ago this was. We were watching one of those Sunday night shows, or Walking Dead, or about to watch it. I'm lying in bed. My whole body's in excruciating pain because I'm so out of shape. And then my wife goes, oh, look, a collection. And she found this collection on Kijiji. And Kijiji's like a marketplace, right? So I go on there, and it's a collection, and it's like 30 minutes west of me, just between here and Toronto. And I'm in my pajamas. I'm ready to go to sleep. And I'm like, oh. I call the guy, hey, how you doing? He goes, yeah, come and see it. I got more guys interested. I'm like, if I don't go now, I'm not going to get this collection, right? So I'll be there in half an hour. So I got dressed, hopped in my van. I drove out to Ajax. And as I got there, it started getting dark out. I couldn't even see the comic books, right? So he had a New Mutants run. And he was asking, I think at the time, he was asking $1,000 for the whole lot. And it was like 10 big long boxes of comics, or 15 long boxes of comics. So I found the New Mutants, and I said, if New Mutants 98's in there, I'm going to make him an offer and just go. So I go through it. He had the New Mutants books. It doesn't have the first cable. I keep going. Boom. New Mutants 98. I pull it up. It's like pristine. I say, okay, I think I've seen enough. I said to him, well, how much do you want? He goes, well, I would take 700. I go, how about 500? He goes, 500? I go, this is going back a long time, guys. He goes, 500? I go, yeah. He goes, sold. We go to the bank machine, give him his $500. I didn't even know what else I had in that collection. I had no clue. I drove it all home, put it all in my garage, and I was, by the time I got home, all my aches and pains were gone. I was all excited, right? You know the feeling when you don't know what's in the box. So I spent 2 hours going through the box. I pulled out a stack of comics like this wide, a short box of good stuff. I pulled out a short box of stuff that, first appearance of Bane, tons, Vengeance of Bane, tons of stuff. And in the end, I think I calculated that the little short box that I had was worth at least $3,000 or $4,000. And I'm like, woo! And that New Mutants 98 did come back a 98, by the way. I remember that. And so I was very happy, and then I had all these other books. I didn't really want them. So I put the books back on Kijiji, and a guy came and offered me $900 for all the other books. I didn't even have an offer. So make me an offer. It was $900. It's sold. And he took all the other books off my hands. That was a long time ago. That was probably going on 10 years ago as well, around the time where I found another collection out of Toronto. So, I mean, it just got to be the right place, the right time. But that is an addictive thing. That looking for that collection is a lot of fun. It's a thrill to chase, but it's hard to come by these days. It's hard to come by. And everybody thinks their collection's worth way more than it's actually worth. No one considers the cleaning has to go into the books. The pressing has to go in the books. The grading has to go in the books. It's all money. It's all time. And you're not going to get those books back half the time for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Your money's tied up for all that time. So it's not as easy as everybody says, but it's still fun and we still do it, don't we? All right, let's get back to some books here. We stop. Let me put some of these books back in the box, and we'll finish off this box. And and I'll try to find that Avengers #1 to see what grade it was. Hold on. Let me put these all back here. But Wayne, it sounds like you had some pretty awesome finds yourself. The best collection I ever came across was in Ottawa years ago. And it was an AF-15, a Tales of Suspense 39, X-Men 1, Avengers. It was a beautiful collection. And at that time, the books were not crazy. At that time, an AF-15 in a 2 was probably like a $12,000 book graded. So this guy had all these books there, and I offered him he wouldn't give me a price. So I offered him $20,000 for all these books, and I said, well, give me he was just, I drove all the way to Ottawa to see this collection, and he just he was a tire kicker. He just wanted guys to appraise his collection for him for free. I was pretty ticked off that I wasted 2 days to go to Ottawa to see this collection when he wasn't a serious seller. Anyways, long story short, I didn't buy the collection. If I had bought that collection and given him even $30,000, which the books weren't worth that back then, but if I had given him $30,000, holy cow, that collection today would be worth probably $200,000, $300,000 with the AF-15 in there. And he had the X-Men #1, and he had a lot. And he had like 7 boxes of just Silver Age Marvel, first, Silver Surfer, first, Wasp, first Black Widow, all that stuff, first Hawkeye. It was a nice collection, but I didn't get that one. But that's big money. Those are big money collections. All right. Let's see what else we got in here. Next, we have... Oh, let's go to the big screen. Next, we have... Oh, that's better. Amazing Spider-Man 316 and a 9.8. Nothing wrong with that. And Amazing Spider-Man 301 and a 9.6. Whoop, there we go. White pager. What else do we have here? We also have... Batman 608 in a 9.4. These books look familiar, but I don't know who they belong to. There's a low-grade Iron Fist 14. And a 4.5. This book's got a lot of room to grow, too. I think this is another one that probably be picking some books up because it's still not, I think a 9.8 and this like $4 or $5 grand. It's got room to move, especially if they do something with and Sabretooth's a pretty damn cool character, so I could see that popping. This one here is a New Mutants 87. first appearance of Cable in a 9.6. Got about 6 or 7 more, I think. We have another, we have X-Men number 101. First appearance of the Phoenix. This is a nice book. And a 7.0. Don't know when the heck I'm gonna have time to sort these books. I haven't even sorted the other box yet. Oh, here we go. It was another X-Men 266. And that's what I like to see right there in a 9.8 white pager. So we had a 9.6, a 9.4, I think, and now a 9.8. There we go. What do we got here? First Kitty Pryde, I think. Shadowcat in X-Men 129, 8.5. Another Hulk 340 and a 9.4. You notice not one ASM 361 in the batch. Oh, let's go out of focus. There we go. Two more, friends. We have Amazing Spider-Man 298, 299, and a 9.4. I lost the bag. I don't know how that happened. And we have an Amazing Spider-Man 298 in a 9.6. And that's the box. All pretty much modern books, right? The other box I have, I think there's a magazine or two in there because it's a fatter box. But that's it for this one, guys. Let's go back to the chat, see who's still here. If my friend from Connecticut's still there, let me know, and I will go check your your CGC Avengers number 1 if you want to know the grade now. Let's call up the chat again. There it is. And actually, what grade were you hoping for on that Avengers number 1? Let's see. Let's see if we got you close to where you wanted to be or not. Boy, lots of questions coming in here. Okay. Let's see. Henry, Prince, okay. Wait. Okay, here we go. Our piece had a lot of good finds and times there. Wayne says pricing on collections is so low too. Anything but keys only brings 25 cents to 50 cents per book, if that. If you've got a box of books and you go to Paradise or CBA and Whitby, they're not going to give you 25 cents a book. You'd be lucky to get 10 cents a book. So again, yeah, if it's just bulk stuff, you're not getting much for it. Liam, Sharon, how you doing? Hey, Doc, just curious if there's any benefit to having brand new books pressed. Do people actually do this? Yes, they do. The new paper, well, first of all, damage can occur by just handling the book, right? Just handling a book, you can put a dent in it. And the new paper oftentimes is very thin and cheap and tends to wave when the inks are applied to it. Now, can you still get a 9.8 with wavy pages on a new modern book? Yes, you can. But sometimes people want to kind of calm that down a little bit to make it look even better before it's sent off to grading. But to answer your question, yes, I do get new books. But if I see a new book and I think it's fine the way it is, I just tell them to send it in as is. I try to save them the $25. Potashen, any updates on your raffles? No. I hate to say that. No. I want to get it going, but I haven't even tested the site out or anything, but I do want to do it. It's one of those things. I had a lot of great ideas, and then I had to go back to work, Brad, and that kind of stopped me dead in my tracks. So things are going to be pretty tight for the next couple of months, but then once June rolls around, I'm going to be back at it full-time, hardcore. I'm pretty full-time now, never mind. But I mean, the other stuff, the videos, the raffles, that kind of stuff, I'll be doing more of that when June rolls around. So I apologize about that. Jamie Knott, I'm going to win again. Hey, you could, Jamie. You never know. Chris B. Now big companies in the States doing fractional shares on rare books. Your thoughts? Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, it's like investing, right? It's like you can buy a 0.00001% of an Amazing Fantasy 15, 9.8. Yeah, it's just another way to invest your money. I guess it's okay. It's like anything else, really, is it not? Things are popular, they go up in value. Things are not so popular, they go down in value or what have you, So there's actually, I think there's actually some stocks you can buy where you're investing in collections. And so a collection might have like Van Gogh paintings, rare comic books, rare hockey cards, again, like paintings or drawings from famous artists, works of art from comic book artists, and you can actually invest in those collections. Hey man, if it works, great. I have nothing, I guess it's kind of neat. I like to own my own stuff, but I'm telling you, the way things are going with look at Amazing Fantasy 15 right now. In a 0.5, it's like $25,000 for a 0.5, right? So it's getting to the point where these books are completely unattainable. Hell, man, just the I think it was the date or the year on an Action Comics #1 was it or the #1, just the #1, the little piece sold for $7,000. It's craziness. Went from 5 graded books to 300, and Broad's got a wicked collection there, guys. But yeah, Prince Zodiac. Okay, that collection story. Now I'm sweating. My neck itches. Holy hell. Yeah, it's crazy. Wait, I'm kicking myself as I was in auction and lost Wiz Comics #2 at 7,000. You all know what that book is, right? Yes, I owned Wiz #2 for a very short period of time. Yep. First Captain Marvel. That book is not as big as it should be. It should be a lot. Maybe it's bigger now, but when I bought it, I got it for a song. Prince Zodiac at Wayne, Wiz #2. Okay, yeah, there we go. And the wait continues. Yeah, Dave, sorry, buddy. Or Henry, sorry about that. Dave Tanner, I am, please, thinking 4.5-ish. All right, Dave. All right, guys, you know what? Why don't you stick around for a second? I'm going to call up the CGC website and see if I can show you all this so we can find his book together. Let me find it first. It should be right. Come on. There we go. I'm in the site now. I just got to go to my dealer's page, find the submissions, which is right there. And I think you're the latest one. Where is it? Right? Yeah, that's it right there, I believe. Just double check. Let me just make sure that's yours. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's yours. Let me just double check again. One thing. It says it'll be at your house on... Oh, it should be there tomorrow. It should be at your house tomorrow, it's saying. South Windsor, Connecticut, correct? Is that the one? That should be it. Let me show you. Let me go over, guys. Give me 1 second. You guys can see his book with me. Let me go to... Let me just find if I can find my window, GPA window. That's the one right there. Okay, here we go. I think can you still hear me? Yeah, you can still hear me. Okay, so we're looking at this one right. These are all some of the books I've got there right now. This right here belongs to Dave Tanner. All right, Dave. Dave was hoping for a 4.5. Fingers crossed. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Oh, you got a 5.0. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. At least you got higher than a 4.5. You got a 5.0 on your Avengers #1. Not bad. So congratulations. I hope you're happy with that. There we go. Yeah, I hope you're happy with that. That's pretty good grade, I think. Are you happy with that? I guess you would be. And I'm not joking. According to the shipping, it'll be there tomorrow. So you might I hope someone's home tomorrow. You're gonna get West Hartford. Is that what it said? I hope that's what it said. That's your book. I'm pretty darn sure it is. Or maybe that's where it is right now. Oh no, it's West Hartford. Sorry, it's in South Windsor right now, Connecticut. It's coming to West Hartford. It's saying it's arrived at the FedEx location. A direct signature is required, and it's gonna be. It says it was expected for Monday, but it should be at your place tomorrow by end of the day. So I guess FedEx delivers on Sundays where you live. So congratulations. Yeah. Let's see here. Davey Claire, watching last Sunday's 60 Minutes really was an eye-opening as why everything is getting so expensive in housing. Multiple Fortune 500 companies are buying up houses at an extreme rate and rent. Really? Is that what's happening? It sucks. An inflated rate. It's inflating everything. It's a really scary thing right now, guys. I don't understand how our kids are going to survive this. I mean, if the house prices have gone up 100%. But no one's wages are going up 100%. So how are these kids going to be able to afford these homes? I don't understand it. And not only that, it's even like I went and bought a new Jeep today. I can't believe how expensive these vehicles are. It's nuts. It's nuts. Everything's going up. Anyways, what can I say? Bernardo Garcia's in the house. Hey, Bernardo, good to see you. All right, excellent. Glad that worked out for you, Dave. I'm glad that worked out. So make sure you keep your eyes open tomorrow. Do me a favor, when you get your book, throw it on Instagram. Hey, guys, if you got a second, if you haven't done so, if you don't follow me on Instagram, would you mind doing it? I'm almost at 2,000 followers on Instagram, but I can't seem to breach that 2,000 mark. And I'm at Comic Doc. And I got a few Instagram accounts, but you want the blue one, at Comic Doc. Not Comic Doc Shop, that's another one I have, but you want the at Comic Doc as my main one. If you wouldn't mind following me over on Instagram, I'd really appreciate that. Get me over that 2,000 mark. I want to stay over that. Yeah, and that, my friends, I think is it. We've gone about an hour and 10 minutes, and I think I'm going to go chill out and relax and watch some TV and then go to bed and wake up early and start yet another day of comic book fun. Listen, guys, thanks so much for popping by today, and I hope you enjoyed this comic book unboxing. I may do another one. I might do another one tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to, but if I have time, I will, because I do have another box ready to be open to show you all. So there'll be one coming up soon. But you know what? Hit that notification bell. As soon as I post that I'm going to go online, you're going to be one of the first to know it. My friends, thanks again for coming by. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a glorious time. Enjoying this time off. Hopefully you're off for the weekend. And until next time, take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.